Sure, a quick trucking story. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. My dad owned a trucking company, and it was a small company. He'd have anywhere, to from 5 to 10 trucks at a time. And then in the summertime, we were in California. In the summertime, it might be at least a bunch of owner operators on. It might be 30 trucks over the busy time. And I was thinking about communication on the road back then. There wasn't cell phones, and it was, of course there wasn't computers. I get email in my truck, and if I'm going down the road, it'll read it to me. I don't even have to look at it. But my dad had this plan, and I don't know if it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, or it's the most brilliant thing I ever heard. He would, he didn't have an 800 number, so the guys on the road, it was too expensive back then. So the guys on the road couldn't, just pick up a payphone and call him. What he would do is he would get the guys to call him person to person collect for Charlie. And there was no Charlie. It was a Charlie call. That was the thing. You call for Charlie. So, and we did this at home all the time, because they might ring the house late at night or whatever in the evening. If one of us picked up the phone, this is so-and-so calling for Charlie, and you'd say, well, Charlie isn't here. Well, Charlie wasn't here. There was no Charlie. Can we take his number down, and we'll have Charlie call him back when he gets here? And so you'd write the driver's number down, and then then Dad would call him, or you would call him. Whoever was going to call him would call him back, because it was cheaper just to call him wherever they were at from the house or from the office than it would be for them to call an 800 number or whatever. It was the cheapest way to do it. And I think about it now, it's just ridiculous. But we used the operator as answering service all those years, for years and years out there. It's hilarious.